So many people, all in one place. I still cannot feel entirely comfortable.
She's got a little bit of social anxiety with so many people.
Captain,
Hello.
over here.
Let's figure out about this Terrormorph conspiracy.
The workup's in the cabinet's hands. They said they'll call for us once they've gotten to properly review it. But listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier. So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there. My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance. The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place. I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy. They called him Ve Victus, woe to the defeated, in Old Earth Latin, a title he earned. The program I was a part of, it was the UC's attempt to create a new generation of military minds from one of their most respected tacticians. Secure the leadership of the UC military for generations to come.
So that's interesting. They have cloning technology that I guess only the top brass of the military can currently use. But it's not perfect to where the person they wanted to bring back is a girl, so I don't know if they're transgender or if they go by a girl. You're a clone of a man. How's that work?
A non-trivial amount of gene editing. Clone, honestly, isn't even really the right term for our relationship, thanks to the amount of donor material that was required to bring me into this world. He and I are different on more than a few levels, but there's no denying the fact we're inextricably linked.
So, more of a father-daughter thing, not really much of a clone, because then that would be saying, like, most children of their parents are clones. Because it's like we're mostly 50% of whatever parents we have. So, I guess there are other programs out there, other clones?
I'm the last. A few of my siblings, they passed when we were young. Training accidents and the like. But most of the rest were deployed to the front lines during the Colony War, and they never came back. Not a day goes by where I don't think about what the world would look like with them still in it.
Aren't these supposed to be like the brightest minds revived to lead the UC? Why would they be sending them to the front lines?
He would have happily told you he was one of the greats. Ultimately, though, it didn't matter. The man I was cloned from, my father, was executed for acts he committed during the war. The man caused a lot of death on both sides. Freestar Collective and UC. Military and civilians. And the things he did, well, they're a part of the reason the UC and Freestar Collective aren't really on great terms to this day. So my involvement, it could be another obstacle they throw at us up there. I just wanted you to be forewarned.
You're not your father. If the cabinet doesn't see that, it's their problem, not yours. I thought my family... What did your father do to merit being executed?
He had his men open fire on civilian ships during the Battle of Cheyenne. A battle that he ultimately ended up losing anyway, devastating the UC fleet and bringing the Colony War to an ugly end for the UC. But he's also the one who ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport during their outbreak, condemning countless lives. Both sides agreed the settled systems would be better without him.
You're not your father. Wow, I thought my family. So you're using me to distract them. Great. I'm not sure I can blame them. This family of yours doesn't sound like... Wait. Prognosis improved? What does that mean? Doesn't sound like... doesn't sound like they were paragons of virtue. You're not your father.
I really appreciate you saying that. I just thought you deserved to know, considering how much you've done already. You know, while we've got a second, was there anything else we needed to discuss? I know you got dropped into the middle of this pretty fast. Or, if you've got any last-minute business to attend to, now might be a good time. No telling how long the cabinet's gonna keep us waiting out here.
Actually, no, I'm taking... Honestly, what risk of accident? Are you willing to tell me more about your father? Your eyes, they're red. Is that the result of the cloning process?
That's actually a souvenir from my time on Mars. The Red Devils unit I was a part of, they were founded by recruits who'd worked some of Mars' deepest mines. Folks used to adversity. The dust at those depths, it seeps into everything. The human eye included. Where the name Red Devils came from in the first place. It became an unwritten rite of passage that anyone wanting to enlist with the Devils had to do a stint in the mines before they could join up. The Devils were always talked about in such revered tones during my training, so as soon as I was old enough, I signed up. And the eyes were my parting gift.
Interesting. So honestly, risk of accessing this data... Suggestions on what I should say to the cabinet? Are you willing to tell me more about your father? I really don't care about her father.
Eye strain from the amount of reading I've got on the horizon if we succeed. The Terrormorph project never went anywhere. It couldn't. They're deadly creatures, but they aren't xenoweapons. The cabinet not opening the archives is probably a bigger risk than them handing over the files. That data itself isn't dangerous. Which probably wouldn't be a bad point for us to bring up, should the opportunity arise.
Any suggestion to say to the cabinet?
Well, thinking about it more, I suspect there'd be value in sharing the fact that the Terrormorph project was, well, a failure. There's no need to be afraid of this data being weaponized. Knowing that should calm some of the cabinet's fears and make it easier for us to dispel any suspicions the other factions might have about our intentions.
Don't have any questions? No.
Then I guess it's just a matter of...
The cabinet meeting is about to begin. All parties, please proceed to the cabinet chambers.
Sounds like our cue.
Yep, let's go.
Entering that building, I would prefer it. Let us just say I am allergic to Bureau.
Don't care, Alejandra. We need to have this meeting. Let us in. This kind of reminds me of the Mass Effect Council.
Ah, welcome. You must be the captain Hadrian mentioned in her report. You have our thanks for the risks you faced in securing this information.
Adrian made it clear addressing this issue required the utmost urgency. I was just following it. Thank you. Thanks. Don't keep my ship fueled, ma'am. Made clear addressing this required the utmost urgency.
Oh, I'm sure she did.
Yes, well, precisely how urgent is what I hope we'll determine here today. So now, we have two petitioners here making a surprising request. Access to the UC Xeno Warfare Team's Terrormorph data, currently housed in the Armistice archives. A request which will require not just this body's agreement, but that of all three Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun. Now, Captain, we've all read Hadrian's report on the subject, but we have yet to hear from you. Perhaps you could summarize for the Cabinet what it is you see as the goal of this endeavor.
What's Captain? I'm here to talk about what happened. Adrian's the one with the grand plans. To find a... Still trying to find out what we're facing. We can't make it without that data.
That is something to consider. Though we also have to take into account the nature of the data you require.
Madam President, I object to the very premise of this meeting. While no one would argue that what happened on Tau Ceti was anything less than a tragedy, Terrormorph attacks are not some sudden new threat on the horizon. They've been happening for generations. To demand we hand over banned archival knowledge and possibly upset the balance of galactic diplomacy because of a single attack seems at best panic. And at worst, a power grab by the daughter of a bloodthirsty warmonger and her associates.
I would remind the chief diplomat who he's speaking to. If it's my father you're looking to address, you're welcome to consult a medium. I would also ask, how many deaths the cabinet requires to act? 50? 50,000? Because if tragedies like Tau Ceti are just prelude to more attacks, I have no doubt you'll get the body count you require.
Let's keep this civil, shall we? And while there should be no doubt the preservation of life stands paramount among this body's duties, Chief Yassine has a point. Will a single attack, however troubling, be sufficient to convince the other factions to grant us access to what they no doubt consider weapon data? I don't think it's enough. Perhaps you can help, Captain. As the one who actually collected the sample in question, did this Terrormorph seem at all alarming to you?
No, ma'am, nothing special. The tissue matched the ones on a wiped out the colony that never saw a kind. That's pretty alarming. I only know what I was told. The tissues matched the ones from Lodian. I think that's the place that got trampled, the city, by all the Terrormorphs.
Just taking her word for it as well, then.
So it would seem. So then, Captain, given the discussion now and the information you've been privy to thus far, if you were in our position, would you grant the request made to open the archives?
Yes. We need to grant permission. Madam President, if it were me, I wouldn't grant. The archives are sealed for a reason. Personally, I would wait. Yes, if the fear and data being that is not dangerous.
You are correct, but it must be considered that with the data in hand, someone else could succeed where that program failed.
That? I hadn't thought of that, Captain.
An excellent point indeed. The other powers would likely be much more inclined to work with us knowing that. Chief Diplomat.
That point is a good one. Very well, you have my agreement. The galaxy is lucky.
I'm glad I actually talked to her.
You and I are in agreement, Chief Diplomat. So, if there are no other objections, I believe we can agree to give our full backing to make the request to... What
She
was
had no
that?
reaction.
Attention. An incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
Incident? Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terrormorphs.
Terrormorphs.
More. Let's see.
Just as predicted. Good God.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly.
How the hell are
The
you gonna
last
do
thing we
this
need is a
discreetly?
citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Logan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming, and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
We didn't get where we are by sitting on our laurels. Our laurels, in fact, became uninhabitable a long time ago. Helps to remember that.
Hadrian is now following. Lovely. Have to go deal with this. What's going on with these guys?
We're trying to help you! Come, meet your death.
What the fuck are these guys doing? Wow. I don't understand why she was trying to kill them.
Now hit him with everything you've got.
Okay, they're still alive.
Please! Do something!
I literally did something.
Lights out on that one.
Okay, all down.
I'll be alright. Nothing a bucket of med packs won't
See. Nope.
fix.
What up?
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting, I've seen this before. They were under the Terrormorph's influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some Terrormorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready.
EM weapon? Is she talking about my weapon? Because I was able to neutralize them all without having to kill them. So does that mean I need to worry about you turning on me?
I honestly was just wondering the same thing. But no, you don't need to worry about me. I've had a Terrormorph try it on me before. I'm not susceptible. So we'll just have to make sure to watch out for each other down there.
Are you suggesting Terrormorphs can control people?
I'm not suggesting. It's documented behavior. The result of the projection, though, can vary wildly. Some folks just shrug it off. Others hallucinate. And some lose control altogether. They'll lash out at anyone around them. But still be aware while they're doing it. Those cases, you'll either need to knock them out with EM fire, or free them by killing the Terrormorph.
If someone comes on me, I'm putting them down. Yeah, it sounds like we need a hustle.
Let's do it.
Nat's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
Alright. I wonder what's their name is doing right now.
Did you hear something?
Like, what's Constellation doing?
No time to waste, Captain. Stash the EM and pull some firepower. Let's move.
Wait, I just wonder, can I like teleport to them right now? It's currently unavailable to this location. Razorleaf, where's the lodge? Oh, damn. Hold up. The lodge, where is it? Damn. Yeah, it'd be cool if like everyone was reacting to this, so like all your missions were on pause. All quest givers were battling currently. This is kind of cool. You Atlantis. Damn. Damn, it just absolutely wrecking that motherfucker that it grabbed. I want to get it away from everyone. So like it can't like blast that gas.
Put down your weapons. We just want to be friends.
Best not to leave anything useful behind.
I'm guessing they tried to use the gas on me.
Wait, officer? Are you and this woman experts? We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad. We're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before. Well, one fire team to spare and whatever supplies you need, but I can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. We'll hold them as best we can.
I'm taking everything. Speak to the fire team.
I'm not sure how many are left.
What's up?
Heard you might be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there on your 6.
You two have any experience with Terrormorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here. But we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us.
We'll handle the sea stay. I want you to watch our backs. And you're sure you're not gonna turn on us out there?
We're not afraid. But we'll stay here and hold the line if that's what you want. You're the experts.
Yeah, I guess watch our
Roger
backs.
that. We're on you. Be prepared.
Damn, quite a few guys dead. Yeah, I like how they have this, like, different spaceport for New Atlantis. Not like the same normal one. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that? I'm on fire. Aid. Med pack. I better be a hero after doing all of this for them. Damn, I injured it.
What is this, a new surprise? Let's see how quickly it can die.
Were those guys gonna turn on me? Alright. We got like one more. Also, where's my ship? Oh, there it is. Kinda wanna use a different weapon on it. Let's see. Oh yeah, how about let's use the Ashta Tamer? Yeah, let's use this on it. I've been looking for a good reason to use this.
Please help. Please.
Yeah, blasting its goo at me.
Target down. Nice work, Captain.
The rest of the city is safe, thanks to us. You deserve whatever accolades you have coming.
Yep, I deserve everything. Alright, where is he? Where's Sergeant Yumi?
Guess they weren't kidding about you two. Universe put the right people in the right place.
You're the heroes here, not us. All in a day's work, Sergeant. Just remember who saved your tails. You all held the line. You're the heroes here, not us.
Certainly doesn't feel like it.
I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terrormorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
Alright. Well, let's go deal with the President, or go ask. Imagine if the President became controlled and then ordered basically the security to turn on us.
The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before exiting your homes.
Also, it's like, this situation wasn't even that bad. I was expecting, like, more people to be... Hold on, wait.
Thankful these raids are quick. I do not like being in small, enclosed spaces with people I do not know.
Yeah, I can probably steal this, considering there's, like, no people here. Alright, I was able to steal both of these.
Succeed at that before we are discovered.
Yeah. I stole everything from the banks. Lovely. Now I don't have to steal it later. Alright. Let's go. Back up.
That's a relief to hear. Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, there you are. I believe we have some things we should discuss.
A thanks
You've
is
got
in
the
order.
Cabinet's full backing to prevent more attacks. Understand?
Talk to me.
Captain? Hadrian? It would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. As well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terrormorphs will consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Agreed. Thank you. Better late than never, I suppose. I take my credits. Better late than never, I suppose.
After a certain point, there is little difference.
No, you two were in the right. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, today's events have only clarified our path forward in the eyes of the Cabinet. You will have our full support in collecting the Terrormorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes,
Why is the
ma'am.
guy behind her
I'd be honored.
eyeballing her like that?
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative.
If you're sure that's the wisest course of action, I can't be a representative. I'm just a Vanguard nobody. If you're sure, tell me. Why not send a diplomat, someone trained for this sort of thing?
The Cabinet wants progress, and wants it quickly. You're already far more familiar with the situation than any diplomat would be. There's also no diplomat alive that can claim they helped keep a cadre of Terrormorphs off the embassy doorsteps. The Cabinet was unanimous. They want you.
All right, if you're, tell me what I'm getting first, and I'll consider. Nah, I'm not gonna be that much of a dickhead.
We do. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us?
Let me think about it. And what do I get for being a UC citizen?
It has its perks. Only citizens can purchase property in the city. We also pay reduced prices on most goods and services across the UC. There's also a credit disbursement when you first join. Help get you on your feet. But above all, you'd become a dedicated part of the greatest faction in the galaxy. If you're willing to help us, we can open that door.
All right, whatever.
I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. You're dismissed.
Damage to the spaceport. The costs of this attack are greater
There are so
than I
many
think we
different
realize.
groups across the settled
I'm
systems.
gonna go
it's
check in
hard
with
to keep
Chief
up with all
Engineer
the work they're
Kulkarni.
doing.
Start getting a
When
plan
UC
together for
security
that
loses
favor.
an officer, I make it my responsibility.
Hello?
Those creatures killed UC citizens. They're not killing anymore.
To make now.
By the way,
I want to
Captain,
just see about
Sergeant
talking
Huey
about
was
all of
looking
them.
for you.
Losing
Sounds like he's
anyone
got
in the
more
line of duty.
No chance we'd get anything if it was me going.
All you need to concern yourself with right now is collecting that data.
Alright. I wonder if
Speak to Deputy
citizens were
McIntyre.
hiding here
She'll point you toward-
for, like, protection.
These orders. A Vanguard captain. You... Yes, sir. I'll make sure they get what they require.
Who the hell are you talking to? Was that supposed to be, like, a shady... She's doing something under the books? Talking to somebody who probably wants me dead?
That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second-in-command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also informed that you gave quite the presentation to the Cabinet. Chief Yassine wants you to know the Interstellar Affairs Office is fully committed to this endeavor, accessing the Terrormorph data and beyond. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you have the tools you need. And that means first getting you into the archives. You do know what the archives are, correct?
They're repositories for all the banned data from the Colony War.
Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varun.
Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Varun to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. but that's a lot easier said than done.
You think they'd be clamoring to help after the space attack? No problem, I just need some electrodes, a tooth extractor, and some sodium. What can you tell me? Can we forge them? It sure doesn't sound easy. You think they'd be clamoring to help after the space probe?
I couldn't agree more. However, both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate.
And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here. Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative.
But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varoon?
I'd say probably the Freestar. Actually, I need to take time of care or something first. Yep. Freestar Collective.
The good Ambassador Radcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable.
It sounds as though I will enjoy this.
Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her.
Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support.
And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code.
No one can be that stubborn. New Atlantis was just attacked. I think you're underestimating how delightful I am. Alright, tell me about these. I think you're underestimating how delightful I am.
Huh. Well, if that's the case, I'll wait to be pleasantly surprised. But we do have one item up our sleeve. UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the Ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can use to your advantage.
But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell.
So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen.
Now, we recovered some intel we believe should be able to help with that. But there's also a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for information. Maybe even convince to work with you.
That's all the info I need at the moment. Any other things I should avoid doing inside the about this staff member?
Name's Cameron Long. He's younger than Ratcliffe, bears less of a grudge towards the UC. He works closely with the Ambassador, making him a promising source for information on the ins and outs of embassy life, and someone who very likely hates her guts.
Yes, many. Don't steal anything. Don't get caught anywhere you're not supposed to. Absolutely do not harm anyone. If something goes wrong, we'll do our best to smooth things over, but I can't make any promises.
Alright, that's all the info.
All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise.
And take these. Chief Yassine wanted you to have some options on how to proceed in there.
Alright, 9,600. Yeah, I'm good. What? Why? Speak to Deputy. I already spoke to her.
Captain, would you like to finish your briefing on the...
Fine, tell me.
Official line is that you're to negotiate with her. Use your charm and personal narrative to sway her to our cause. My suggestion is to access the listening device in her quarters to get...
Yeah?
She's also got a staff member that might be more sympathetic to helping us. Do with that information what you will.
Alright.
Ambassador Balmore's a challenge. When the rest of House Varoon retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here. He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Varoon thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval.
He sounds pretty promising. I'm sure he can be reasoned. House of our people, just like us. What's wrong with House Varun?
Well, these days, they're primarily considered a security threat. House Varun Zealots, a fundamentalist outshoot of the group that stayed behind when the rest retreated into seclusion, want nothing more than to send everyone not dedicated to their cause to the great serpent in the sky. But that hasn't always been the case. After they ended the Serpent's Crusade about 70 years back, House Varun did take a real run at trying to normalize relations with the rest of the galaxy. It's why they have an embassy here in the first place, why they were included in the armistice negotiations. But then, without warning, they left, leaving behind, to our knowledge, just the ambassador and his duty under the armistice.
No argument here. Seems nothing like a bunch of madmen. I'm sure they can be reasoned, or just people like us. Actually, that sounds pretty
It
promising.
does, but there's a concern. We're not 100% sure Balmore's actually still alive. His public appearances were always rare, but it's been several years now since he last poked his head out. Scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting.
Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice.
I'll track him down. Here's to hoping we're not chasing a corpse. What kind of life signs did you detect on the embassy? Wait, no, it's actually been inside the embassy?
The embassy is still legally House Varun's sovereign territory, so we're not technically permitted inside. We've snuck in the occasional spy, of course, but the ambassador has proven more evasive than you'd expect for a man of his age. But we're quite sure he hasn't left the city. The man stands out.
What do I do if he's dead?
Then you search the embassy for his biometric key, collect your code piece, and we'll go about notifying his next of kin, if we can ever find them. But let's hope it doesn't come to that.
What kind of life signs did you detect in the embassy?
The Varun delegation brought more than a few of their native flora with them when they set up in the embassy. It seems those plants have been allowed to flourish, making it hard for us to verify what's flora and what's ambassador.
Okay, here's open. We're not chasing
It will
that
at least be a
corpse.
speedier negotiation. But I, of course, hope the ambassador is alive and well.
Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there.
Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's mind. Be smart out there, Captain.
Alright. Interesting, interesting. Well, I think I'll go check on the lodge and see if they have anything to say about what the fuck just happened. Lobby? Right. Let's see. Launch further into the unknown. So, go here, right? Ah, damn it. Still carrying way too damn much. I gotta walk there myself. Imagine if the Starborn were landing on the planet. Like, that'd be that'd be dumb but crazy. It's like even on this planet, they're still landing. What the hell? She just appeared in front of me? Yeah, well, we're almost there. Let's add the final few pieces.
Enjoy New Atlantis, but this... this is much better.
Right.
Look at how far we've come. It's all becoming so overwhelming. The Starborn, the artifact visions, the music. Is it all worth it?
Mateo,
Yes,
are you
it is.
having a crisis of faith? You?
What if the Starborn are right? What if our hunt for the artifacts is a fool's errand, doomed to failure and catastrophe?
You think we're doing the wrong thing? We just want answers. Isn't that why we all joined in the first place? The noble quest of discovery?
Starting to wonder if it's all worth it. Noel's right. We can't abandon who we are. Stop before we all drown in serious. You two better stop before we all drown in the seriousness.
The concern is not unwarranted. We are unsure what we are dealing with here.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to shame either of you. Blame the workings of a worried mind. I just hope that this journey doesn't turn us into something that we wouldn't recognize from where we are now.
Hate to interrupt, but I have a favor to ask. Lot of equipment on the Eye has reached the span's end. If we're going to find more artifacts further out, we need work done. Got the nods and signs from Sarah and Walter for the materials, but I need hands.
Happy to, what kind of repairs?
Console parts, replacement wires that have burned out, some fixes to the intercom between the station and the lodge.
Do you have other people, I guess I'll happy to help.
Won't be going alone. Need more than just the you and I. Asked around. A few constellations are already on their way up.
Dusty. Let's talk.
Yeah, I mean, you just disliked whatever I was saying to them. So, I'm not entirely sure I want to talk to you right now. I just saved the entire goddamn city. These motherfuckers are getting angry at me. But yeah, anyway, I think that's where I'll call it here for today. I hope you guys are enjoying Starfield. If you guys are, please make sure to follow me on all my social media, like my Twitter, my Twitch, my YouTube, my D-Line, my TikTok, my Kick, Rumble, Odyssey, and Daily Motion. Make sure to check out my second YouTube channel, and like and comment on all my videos, and even join my Discord. There you can stay up to date with everything I choose to do, whether my streams, videos, or anything else. But yeah, I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.